ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 5 Minute Bitcoin, where we onboard the masses 5 minutes at a time, so you don't have to. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is the Lightning Network and the Strike app. And as you can see over in the corner over there, I have my Strike QR code posted, so if you're inclined to zap me a few sats after we talk about this, then go right ahead. All right, so let me explain that the Strike app is a second layer protocol that rides on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. And it enables really fast payments, settlements. So what I did was I went to the Lightning Network website to get a summary of what it is. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, their descriptions and their nomenclature and their jargon and the way they describe it uses sophisticated terminology that, quite frankly, when you're just now onboarding or considering Bitcoin, that language can be quite daunting. So what I've done is I've searched for a little bit more newcomer-friendly information and explanations, and I have found a website by calebandbrown.com. And they've done a great job. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to read from their website. And hopefully this is a little bit more newcomer-friendly language. All right, here we go. The Bitcoin Lightning Network is a payment protocol that operates on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. It's designed to enable fast, cheap, and secure off-chain transactions for Bitcoin and Lightning users. The Lightning Network simultaneously addresses Bitcoin's weaknesses and leverages its strengths, providing a platform to send and receive Bitcoin quickly with negligible fees. These two characteristics promote Bitcoin's adoption as a currency to use in all circumstances, from buying a cup of coffee to exchanging hands in multi-billion-dollar value transactions. As a result, many see the Lightning Network as pivotal in the broadening Bitcoin's use case, allowing it to rival and potentially replace traditional payment systems such as Visa and MasterCard. All right, now let me address that gorilla in the room, and that is the name Lightning, Strike, Lightning Network, Strike app. The reason why they use that is because it's fast. And in a future episode, what I'll do is I'll go over and I'll show you a comparison of the Lightning Network transaction time versus Visa and MasterCard. Lightning Network transactions are much faster. Sometimes they only take milliseconds. Whereas if you try to do the same transaction with Bitcoin on the Bitcoin base layer, it would take minutes, and the fees would be cost prohibitive for example, for a cup of coffee. The Lightning Network changes the ball game, really. Let's go on. Now they say, what is the Lightning Network? And they describe it as the Bitcoin Lightning Network is a layer 2 solution. Layer 2 means that it rides on top of, it's a developed protocol that rides on top of the base layer, the Bitcoin base layer. All right. Lightning does not have a native token or blockchain. It utilizes Bitcoin's infrastructure, the asset Bitcoin itself, and the blockchain to create payment channels that facilitate the flow of Bitcoin from one party to another, away from the base Bitcoin blockchain. In other words, off-chain. I know this is getting a little bit complicated and technical, but I'm going to keep going, and we'll talk about it. Parties then can conduct multiple Bitcoin transactions, although each isn't verified individually on the Bitcoin blockchain at the time of execution on Lightning's network. Instead, all the transactions in a payment channel are eventually reflected on-chain on the Bitcoin network as a single transaction. In short, lots of transactions on the Lightning network are rolled into one transaction on the Bitcoin network. Herein lies the Lightning Network's power. All right, let's stop right there. For those of you who know how point of sale systems work at retail stores, you are probably familiar with how credit card transactions are processed in batches. In other words, in years past, I've gone to retail stores, and what we would do at the end of the evening is do this thing called a batch or batch out function with our point of sale cash register. And what that would do was at one time it would send all of the information regarding the credit cards that were transacted with throughout the day at the end of the day, and the settlement would be at that time. Well, this Bitcoin, the Lightning Network is very much like that, except they use it with Bitcoin. All right, let's continue. While the Lightning Network leans heavily on Bitcoin's infrastructure, it runs its own software that processes and logs all transactions on a standalone network of nodes or computers. These individual Lightning nodes communicate with one another to allow for the creation of the payment channels for Lightning users to move Bitcoin through. All right, so this genius, Jack Mallers, who came up with this, who developed this protocol and worked diligently, and by the way, if you ever get the chance to hear him speak about Bitcoin and macro finance, global finance, it's a real eye-opener because he's a very eloquent speaker. I do respect him with his ability to intimate where this industry is going. If you're interested in downloading the free app on your mobile device, it's a free app. And you can store a limited amount of Bitcoin on your phone, essentially, so that if you go to a merchant, that a physical merchant, in other words, a brick and mortar store that has that participates in and by the way, there's millions of them all over the world now. And the network of Lightning Network, the Strike app users is growing like it's going to be ubiquitous in, I would say, 5 years. It'll be everywhere, like MasterCard and Visa. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone about twice as far as I should have today. Download the Strike app and put $5 in it and see what you think. And speaking of Strike app, QR code, help me out. Let's grow the channel together. And I'll give you a shout out when you zap me a sat. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, tick the little bell for updates. And once again, of course, I'm going to remind you to dollar cost average, HODL, and self-custody. God bless you.